Nate Austin of BYU basketball. That is very. Wait, is he a fifth-year senior? Or
only 5. Come on, man.
Or a sixth-year senior?
5th.
He's not 6. He didn't have a medical. Oh, he did get a medical last year. That's right.
Yes, but still technically 5th, right?
Yeah, I never redshirted before last year.
Yeah. Oh, okay, 5th year. My
so
bad.
It's straight redshirt.
My bad. Yeah. Last year, BYU won at Gonzaga. You were watching on the bench. This year, you have a chance as a starter, we assume, to go up there and make it 2 years in a row with a win at the Kennel. What in the world has to happen, other than you need to score more points than Gonzaga, for BYU to win at the Kennel 2 years in a row?
Well, first of all, clarification, I actually was not on the bench. I didn't travel to the game.
You didn't make the trip.
Yeah, we had too many guys on the team last year, so I got bumped off the jet. So I watched at the Marriott Center in our players' lounge.
Who were you celebrating with then?
So me and Kyle Davis were watching. Kyle with his wife.
Now you're the 2 starters.
Yeah. So.
Okay, good to know.
You were the third wheel in that watch party?
Well, I brought a friend.
Oh, okay.
So.
A friend or a date, Nate?
It was a date.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
good.
Right.
That's good.
Good enough.
What are some of the keys to win, you think, against those guys?
Well, I mean, first off, looking at their team, I mean, obviously Wiltshire and Sabonis, taking a majority of their shots and score a majority of their points. We got to, us bigs have to do a good job of. I mean, we're not going to shut them down. It's not going to happen. But we have to, limit, their easy buckets. We have to make them work for every shot. Really, if we outwork them, it'll really change just the shape of the game for Gonzaga. We have to, really rebound. I mean, they score a lot of points off, just easy rebounding. And so I think doing if us bigs do a really good job, outworking their bigs, out rebounding their bigs. Making their bigs, score tough shots. They're going to score, but if their shots are, tough shots and buckets they have to work for. And I think really our team's got to stay consistent. I think every time years past that we've gone up there, it's not, for the most part we're always in the game, and then Gonzaga goes on, a 10, 12, 0 run at some point in the game, and then we can't, it's hard to make it up, with their fans like that. And so I think if we just, stay consistent, keep the game within, 2 or 4 points on, either up or down, then, at the very end of the game, we'll have a good chance to win it.
And that was the key last year. They never led in that game.
BYU led the whole way.
Wiltshire and Pangos went 5 for 23. Tough shots. They didn't make some open shots. That BYU benefited from that.
Nate Austin with us on BYU Sports Nation, previewing BYU and Gonzaga tomorrow. True or false? If BYU wins the rebounding battle, they will win the game tomorrow.
Well, stats show that it's a pretty good indicator. I think so, because I think, to me, rebounding is a good indicator of about effort and who's playing a little harder than the other team. So I think if we out rebound them, I think we'll outscore them.
In practice, and after Saturday's game, Dave Rose said he was really delighted by the win. Yet it was really interesting because he was really concerned over point of attack defense. How has that been addressed and received in practice this week? Yeah,
I think Coach talked about it after the game, and it's something. Obviously, it's something we struggled with early in the year. I think we've gotten better with it, and then we kind of maybe took a step backwards against San Francisco. More than anything, coaches kind of addressed it, and then he said, "Hey, this is something that can't happen again." So in practice, we're just we're working on staying in front of guys, guarding one man, and trying to guard without fouling. One thing, it's just all those practice reps, and hopefully those reps in practice translate to the games.
How much zone defense will we see from BYU basketball, do you think, from here on out this season?
Hopefully not a ton. Obviously, we'll play a little bit, just kind of change it up on teams. But I think we can know that we're improving as a defensive team if we're not playing a lot of zone. Coach Rose typically likes to play man defense, just because it's easier to rebound, it's easier to guard, it's easier to just help each other out. And so I think if we are improving as a defensive team, I think we'll play a lot more man. And so I think that's an indicator we can see as a team if we are improving that primarily it'll be more man defense.
When you think about Sabonis, and he's gotten better this season, really good player, probably an NBA draft pick in the future. What does he do so well, and how do you plan on defending that?
Yeah, he won and he plays really hard. I was watching some of their games, and I feel like every commentator that calls our games always talks about how Gonzaga doesn't really call out plays for him. But he posts really hard. He seals really hard. He ducks in. He's always working to get the ball. He's moving. The ball's flipped, and he's resealing, repositioning his body to get a good angle towards the hoop. And so he's always working. So that's gonna be a big key for us as bigs. We have to kind of beat him to his spots. We have to kind of outwork him. And there'll be times where he gets the better of us. But if we, like I said, if we, make all of his shots difficult, and we kind of, make him work for everything, it'll be a lot tougher for him. But he works hard. He really does it all, inside. He can score with his right and his left. He has a good low post game. He's not a great shooter, although he can definitely make a bucket. So it's he's a guy we have to respect on all parts of the floor.
You're on pace to finish with the most games played in for any BYU basketball player. And we hope that happens because that means you stay healthy.
Right.
You're also on pace for another interesting stat, which brings us to our stat of the day.
It's the BYU Sports Nation Stat of the Day.
Nate Austin's 377 career fouls are 6th most in BYU history, 2nd from 5th place, only 32 away from number 1. What does that mean to you?
Well, at the beginning of my career, my goal was to get the top of the record books in any category.
And this is gonna be it.
So games played was one I had my eye on. I knew points wasn't one. Playing with Ty in high school, I knew the shots wouldn't come as much. And that's not.
And at BYU.
Yeah, that's not a. I'm not trying to go at Ty. I'm just saying.
Oh, go at Ty, whatever.
But so I looked at different areas. Like I can control my game as I play. I can control how many fouls I commit.
Yeah.
So if you have 5 fouls, might as well commit 4 of them.
Amen.
And so I think I'm averaging about 4 fouls a game. So I think I'm doing a pretty good job
with
that.
that.
You're pacing for 11 games from now to be the all-time leader. I would love if the game stopped and they handed you a whistle or something when you got that record.
Yeah,
would that be significant?
Yeah, I'm hoping at the end of my career, the record's so far out there that no one could ever catch me. It's one of those untouchable records.
Corbin's trying really hard to catch you though.
I mean, there's guys in the past, I think Ian Harvard, he was on pace. Maybe we add up his and BYU Hawaii's. It's the whole BYU record book. But
we just want your shoes if and when you break the record.
We already have a shoe. We would like, I think, another from maybe that game after the season. Would that be all right?
Yeah.
The games played or the fouls record? That would be awesome.
This is the shoe that the game was. I broke the record in fouls.
Yes. That would be awesome. On a more serious, less trolling note, and you're good-natured, luckily. We wouldn't go there if we didn't think you would be.
Man.
I've never been punched on the show, so I'm glad today's not the day.
So I got a tweet at me the other day. He asked me, a couple weeks ago, he asked me if I would average more, points at the end of my career or more fouls per game at the end of my career. So.
What are you at right now?
Greg told me it's definitely going to be points. Not by much, but it definitely will be points.
Yeah, take that.
I was like, luckily buckets are worth 2 points, and fouls are only worth 1.
Okay, but what about field goals versus fouls?
I think fouls easily has it.
Oh, it's almost double. It is double. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, so you started, and then you came off the bench, and now you've started again. What's that been like for you to go through that this season?
That's been good. Ultimately, I don't really care if I start or if I come off the bench. You realize I want to help the team, and in any way I can. I trust Coach Rose. If Coach needs me to come off the bench, if Coach needs me to start, so it's been good. I've tried to bring some energy, try to bring some leadership and just experience, and help the team get off to good starts. And I think we've done that in the last 5 or 6 games, which has helped us stay in games, help us win games. But it's been good. I think Corbin, he was starting, now he's coming off the bench. I think he's still playing really well. I think he still gives us a really good a lot of energy, a lot of good rebounding, a lot of solid post defense, and for us to be good, me and Corb and Jamal and Katie, all of us bigs are going to be really good down the stretch. And so it doesn't matter who starts. It doesn't matter. All it matters is that all of us are playing well and playing together.
For the record, BYU 5-1 with Nate Austin in the starting lineup. The only loss coming at St. Mary's, but wins over New Mexico, Northern Iowa, now San Francisco and Santa Clara. As you look at the dynamic of the starting 5 right now, 3 seniors, Chase Fisher, Kyle Collinsworth, and yourself, and then a couple of freshmen have really kind of integrated themselves into how it gets going. And I know that Nick Emery and Zach Sellius is now coming off of the bench, but what's the dynamic of playing at times with 2 freshmen on the floor with those 3 seniors?
Yeah, I think I think early on it was a little hectic. So I think they were still trying to figure it out. I think now we're at the point of the season where they're confident in our team's concept, or they're confident in how coach calls games and whatnot. And so it's a lot better now. I think we're confident in each other. I think we're really learning to trust each other a lot better. And I think obviously Nick and Zach are killing it, shooting the ball. So it makes it a lot easier just to give them the ball and run back as the three's going through the hoop. So it's been good to play with them because they're shooting really well, and they both they're not perfect on defense, but they both try so hard. They both give their top effort each play. So it's really nice to play with guys like that.
Neutral, you guys have been good, but in true road games, for whatever reason, 1-4. What do you guys maybe need to do differently on the road to have more success?
Yeah, I think early on, I think we really fed off our home crowd. We learned when times were bad, we could get some energy from the crowd. Then early on the road, that energy wasn't there, and so when times were bad, it just kind of got worse and worse and worse until we realized, hey, we have to pick it up ourselves, or it's not going to happen. And every game we did that. It was just too little, too late. I think I think in Hawaii we started like neutral tell you said we put a lot better. I think we started understanding that we have to just kind of it's just us against everybody else in the gym. I think our team, at least for me, I think our team turned the corner against Pacific. I think because all these conference games, I think teams, fans sometimes see it, like the St. Mary's and Gonzaga's, like those teams are the good teams, and obviously, record-wise they are. But every game is a tough game. Every game, until like the 10-minute mark is going to be a close game, and that's the team that kind of separates themselves. And so Pacific, it's a tough place to play. It's a tough venue, and
you can barely see in there.
It's tough.
It was dark, man.
Yeah, but so I think as a team we turned the corner that we got down. But we didn't, it wasn't a big lead. We kept fighting, and then by halftime, we were back up, and then second half we kind of separated ourselves. And I think our team is learning that we have to be consistent in our effort, we have to be consistent in our execution, and then on the road, we can't fend up, we can't find the energy from the crowd. We have to find out from within ourselves, within the guys on the bench. So hopefully
it's awkwardly silent many times Thursday.
Yeah, there's nothing better than going into an opposing gym and making those opposing fans just quiet. Feels good.
It was really quiet when the buzzer sounded last game.
Well, I was really I was going ecstatic when I was in the team room. But
on your date.
On your date with Kyle.
I think I kind of freaked her out a little bit. You're like, what's going on here? But you don't understand.
Did you have a date after that with that same girl?
Yeah.
Okay. So
we're still good friends.
Oh, you're still good friends. Okay.
Nate Austin.
That's a conversation for later.
Yes, and we will address that later, perhaps once we get off the air.
Camera. Yeah.
We want you to sign our new Stretch Y flag if you haven't already. I don't think you have.
I feel like I have like a new flag to sign every time I'm on here.
Well, we probably are going through a flag a year. We just get a lot of SIGs.
There you go.
And we put the other one in the.
I think I signed the other flag like 3 times, but it's cool.
And let's distribute Nate Austin some BYU Sports Nation karma.
Yes.
Sign the flag, take the karma.
So that you can have a Corbin Kaufusi jump hook in Spokane.
You sound like most of the commentators in opposing gyms.
Kaufusi! Collingsworth!
Nate, thanks for the time, man.
Say Haas.